Impact of climate change on the forest. Climate change is the challenge of our days. The changes affect every element of the world around us. It is no different in every element of the ecosystem, such as the forest that covers 1/3 of our country.
Wszystkie dane, obserwacje meteorologiczne wskazują na to, że klimat obecnie jest cieplejszy niż był jeszcze kilkadziesiąt lat temu.
All the data and meteorological observations point to the fact that the climate today is warmer than it was just a few decades ago. In fact, since the end of the so-called Little Ice Age, we have been dealing with a systematically rising trend in global temperatures. The average air temperature today is 1 degree higher than it was just a few decades ago. In addition, the frequency of extreme weather phenomena, so-called climatic anomalies, such as hurricanes, periods of drought and fires, is increasing. These phenomena also have certain implications for the functioning of nature on a global scale, including forests.
Dla funkcjonowania przyrody na świecie, w tym również dla lasów.
The trees, just like black boxes, mark each year and their cross-sections as they grow. Going deeper, we can clearly see how the climate and the condition of the forest have changed over the years. In our latitudes and under the resulting climatic conditions, seasonality and seasons, trees produce wood divided into early wood and late wood.
Niby zwykły kawałek drewna. Jest to przekrój poprzeczny.
It seems like an ordinary piece of wood, a cross-section of a tree, but if you look deeper, you can see the annual increments, i.e. darker and lighter colored stripes. This is early wood and late wood. Every tree has a specific growth pattern. Early wood and late wood differ in color because they are formed at different times of the year, and differ in the size and thickness of the cells from which they are formed. First, after the start of vegetation, early wood is formed, which is light in color. Then, late wood is formed, and the process of annual ring formation ends in late summer or early autumn.
Na przekroju poprzecznym drzewa.
The cross-section of a tree shows which years were better or worse, as can be seen in the widths of the annual rings. But in order to illustrate this, so-called dendrochronological curves are created, which show us which years were good and which were bad for the life of the tree. The width of the annual rings in any particular year is determined by the amount of precipitation, its distribution over the growing season, and the temperature. No tree will ever have the same sequence of annual increments. You could say that this is a unique code for each tree, comparable to a barcode. And why is this code so distinctive? Because it depends on many factors, which in nature are not constant, and in recent years have become more and more diversified, and are called climate change.
Ze zmianami klimatu jest tak.
The point about climate change is that these changes are also recorded in the cross-section in the tree through the different widths of the rings. The science that explains all of this is dendrochronology, which can be read from the rings of trees. The increment of trees contains information that cannot be seen, but can be deciphered. However, in recent years there have been phenomena and anomalies that can already be seen in the tree rings with the naked eye. These are low precipitation amounts and their uneven distribution, especially during the growing season. Can we somehow prevent the negative effects of climate change? What are we doing, and what can we do in the forest to limit them? Since a forest, like any ecosystem, is a complex network of interconnected organisms, it is important to remember that changes for one species may mean new conditions for many others as well.
Według najnowszych prognoz opartych o metody modelowania
According to the latest forecasts based on modeling methods, the image of Polish forests may change in the near future.
prawdopodobnie sosna, świerk czy brzoza.
Pine, spruce and birch will probably disappear, while species such as beech, oak and fir will survive.
Niewątpliwie może mieć to także poważne konsekwencje dla świata grzybów.